Remember the feeling of being a kid and trying to fall asleep the night before Christmas? You try to close your eyes and force your brain to quiet down, but the anticipation overwhelms you, making it impossible to sleep. It's one of those nostalgic childhood moments that I thought was gone forever in my adult life. But I've finally found something that recaptures that excitement for me: bikepacking. I'm headed back to Arizona to ride a 260-mile loop that starts and ends in Tucson. The route spends roughly half its time on the Rugged Arizona Trail, a long-distance hiking trail that spans the entire length of the state. The trail was designed to showcase Arizona's raw beauty, but it was not designed for bicycles, which means much of that time is spent pushing your bike rather than riding it. But if there's anything bikepacking has taught me, it's that the deeper the challenge, the greater the reward. I can't wait to spend all day dodging prickly saguaro cacti and eating till I'm on the verge of organ failure.
And I'm not kidding, it tastes amazing.
I'm excited to take you with me bikepacking the Madrean Rugged Ramble. I'm in Tucson, Arizona to ride the Madrean Rugged Ramble. It's a 260-mile loop, and the first 2 days are on the AZT. Today's going to be a short day, but I'm excited to ride through Saguaro National Park, about 35 miles to the El Bosquecito campground, where I'll be able to get some rest and fill up on water before taking on the Arizona Trail.
Man, it's almost embarrassing to admit the childish level of excitement I felt when I woke up this morning. I woke up at 4:30 and I just couldn't fall back asleep. I was so amped for this. It's like nothing else in my adult life ever makes me feel this way.
The route passes by the Tucson Airplane Graveyard, where a large number of retired aircraft are stored, dismantled, and recycled. The dry desert conditions are perfect for preserving aircraft, since the low humidity helps reduce corrosion.
Man, it's amazing how in the lead up to these trips, I'm always so anxious about getting everything right. Am I gonna have enough water? Am I gonna have enough food? And it's always awesome how like in the first 5 miles, all of that just melts away. I am so excited for this. Gonna get a burrito and some horchata.
The breakfast burrito with green sauce is the undisputed king of all burritos. Don't come for me if you disagree.
That is the strangest looking cactus I've ever seen. Man, this is so cool. It's just, riding's not that tough. I'm the only one out here. Weather is perfect. It's gotta be like 70, 75 right now. Oh man, I just feel great. This is so rad. All right, I think this will do it. It's really early right now, it's like 3 o'clock, but the next 20 miles or so look kind of dicey for getting a decent camp spot. I think I've learned my lesson about sleeping in ditches off the side of the road. So here we are. This is pretty nice. I'm having a moment. It's kind of like that scene in American Beauty where he's showing his video to that girl and the bag is blowing in the wind and he's like, there's just so much beauty in the world. That's how I'm feeling staring up at these branches right now.
Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world.
Today's the toughest section of the ride. 42 miles of Arizona trail action until I reached Kentucky camp. Little did I know I was in for a 13-hour ride. But honestly, I would prefer hike-a-bike to being around cars.
Look at that. So beautiful. What a way to wake up.
There's something about waking up to the sunlight that makes you feel so much better. It's one of the things I look forward to most about these trips. Those first few hours in the morning, packing up the tent, eating breakfast, and setting off with only one goal, to pedal as far as I can. This section of the route has no water, so it's important to make sure you carry enough. I carried 6 liters, but you could probably get away with 5. I like to carry extra because filming tends to slow me down.
Taking a nice little snack break before a 3-mile climb. But man, it's been a wonderful day thus far. Weather's perfect. Body's feeling good. Woo! It is windy. I think I might be riding in the dark tonight. Got about 17 miles left and 3 more hours of daylight. But there's a lot of hike-a-bike. Sun's going down. Woo! We are still having fun though. Still having the time of my life.
I keep telling myself that I'm not going to ride in the dark anymore, but it seems like I'm forced to on every trip. It's kind of scary, but it's also fun. The darkness lends to the feeling of remoteness and isolation, and that excites me. It feels like I'm completely alone in the wilderness.
Woo! We are cruising. Oh yeah! Huge day. Huge day. There is our objective. We are almost there, baby. We made it to Kentucky camp. Had to ride for about 2 hours in the dark. That was pretty scary. But when I got here, I was gonna pitch my tent out back and I saw the caretaker and I just said hi to him and he said, "Hey, do you want a room?" And I said, "Of course," expecting that I was just gonna come inside and pitch my tent. But he said, "There's water and there's a bed in there." And I said, "No shit." So I'm sleeping inside tonight. And I'm so excited about that. I'm so stoked that I pushed hard enough to get here. It was a really hard day. I feel like this light is making me look terrifying. This is what I'm eating for dinner. Al pastor chickpeas. Pretty excited to see how this tastes. Not bad. Definitely not bad.
There was definitely a little blood on one of the pillowcases last night, but hey, you can't argue with a free room. Thanks, Kentucky camp. Today I'm heading through Sonita, where I'll get a much-needed resupply, then hop back on the AZT for a challenging ride into the Canelo Hills, which will set me up to make Parker Canyon Lake tomorrow.
Well, it looks like we're off the AZT and we're on this nice dirt road. Should be a couple more miles until I get to Sonita, which is my first town since Tucson. Almost 100 miles done. Let's go. This is Sonita. I'm in Sonita. Got me a breakfast burrito. Whoop. And I'm feeling good. I got a couple of chores I have to get done here. I want to try and disinfect my water filter and get some more food and then start riding towards Parker Canyon Lake. And now I got some cinnamon roll action. I am just a human garbage disposal when I'm on a bike trip. I'm leaving Sonita. I got all resupplied, water, food, ate, feeling great. I don't think I'm gonna make it to Parker Canyon Lake like I wanted to. I think we're getting back on the AZT, which is gonna be rough. But man, I have everything I need. I'm feeling good. We are back on the Zona Trail, baby. And I am definitely not making Parker Canyon Lake tonight. But all I need is a flat spot, pitch my tent, and I'll be good. Man, I don't like saying this out loud because I usually regret it, but the AZT in this section, way more mellow than it was yesterday. I'm just enjoying it a ton. I mean, there's some climbing, but it's like I can actually ride it. It's not so chunky that I have to get off and push every 2 seconds. One thing I love about the AZT is how well marked it is. It's like I never have any anxiety about missing a turn because it's constantly marked. There's also very little bushwhacking. The trail in general is very well maintained. It's hard and it's very chunky and steep, but aside from that, it's great. All right, we're calling it. This is a nice flat spot. I'm pooped. I keep playing that game of, oh, this campsite's not good enough. Let's wait till the next one. So I'm just gonna stop. I have plenty of water, plenty of food, and get camp set up. Well, that'll do it. I think I went 30 miles today. I'm so stoked on this camp spot. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes camping is really rough, but other times it's really special. And tonight is one of those nights. I think it's gonna be a little bit warmer than my first night camping, not windy at all. I'm in a kind of a cow pasture, so I'm surrounded by cows right now and they're kind of mooing a lot, but man, I just feel great. This is so amazing. This is like what I picture in my head when I dream about doing these rides. Perfect day.
Today I want to at least make it to Parker Canyon Lake, where I can resupply before the 42-mile ride to Patagonia. Little do I know how much the Arizona Trail is going to kill me today. The next 15 miles are going to take me 6 hours. The cashier at the store yesterday told me I look like Conan the Barbarian on my bike. And I think it was Conan who said that what's best in life is to crush your enemies. And right now, my enemy is this trail. And it's crushing me.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Struggling, there are only a couple things you can do to make it easier. One of them is eat. It's amazing how you can feel the effect of eating when you're doing shit like this. Like the physical strain just kind of reduces a little bit when you feed yourself. Man, this Arizona Trail is just relentless. Mad respect to the people that do this entire thing, because it is tough. One thing I love on these trips are the little victories. Like when you fix something that is just about to break. It's like my dropper post was just giving me problems, and I figured out what was causing the issue and I fixed it, and now it's working again. And yesterday my shotgun mic was falling off my camera really easily. It was super annoying. And I had some tape and I fixed it, and now it's not falling off anymore. It's those little victories that feel so good. Made it to Parker Canyon Lake. This is the best can of Dr. Pepper I've ever drank in my life. And this is a pretty nice spot. It's got a campground, it's got a store, so I don't think I have any more in me for today. I think I'm staying here tonight, and I'm okay with that. All right, I think this will do for the night. Nice flat spot, beautiful view of the lake. This is great. Didn't go very far today, but that's okay. I'm done with the AZT. And for my last meal of the evening, I'm taking a trick out of old Ryan Van Duser's book. Beans, smoky chipotle, and tortillas, baby. These are actually really good refried beans. Way better than the normal canned ones I get. And that, my friends, is the official end of the AZT for the Madrean Rugged Ramble. I have dirt roads for the next 40 miles. Let's go. Today's gonna be great. I'll pass through the ghost town of Lochiel today and ride a few more miles to Patagonia for a nice resupply. And then finally, I'll climb up into the Santa Rita Mountains to camp for the night. Look at this. This is so sick. Flat dirt road. It feels amazing. Lochiel, Arizona is a small historic town located on the US-Mexico border. This schoolhouse served the community from 1911 until the 1980s. In 2009, a group from the Patagonia Museum decided to restore the schoolhouse, repairing windows and doors
and inviting children to make this cool artwork on the walls. Fewer than 10 residents live in Lochiel today, but the ghost town remains a place of interest for those intrigued by Arizona's borderlands. Shortly outside of town, another historical landmark.
So it says that in this valley in April of 1533, the first European entered Arizona west of the Rocky Mountains. Wow. Pretty sweet, pretty historic. Man, it's amazing how easy this feels after 120 miles of AZT single track. This is not good for my hairline! Ah!
I stopped in Patagonia for a much needed hamburger and resupply. I briefly contemplated getting a hotel, but I've learned that camping is a much more rewarding experience. It obviously involves a lot more discomfort, but camping is ultimately more memorable than staying in a hotel. I'm stoked because on this trip, I camped almost every night.
All right, well, we're not staying in Patagonia. We're gonna try and get some more mileage in. I resupplied, I filled up on water, food, and the bike is feeling heavy, but after that burger, scone, and beer I just consumed, I feel like I could pedal this thing if it was filled with lead. Whew, some intense climbing, 2 miles, almost at the top. Sure is beautiful though. These are some old adobe ruins. This is pretty sweet. Wonder how many thousands of years old this is.
Okay, so I was way off. The ruins date back 100 years, when a mining prospector built a home and post office on the site. The Santa Rita Mountains have a long history of copper mining in the early 20th century, and you can find the remains of old mining infrastructure along this portion of the route.
Wow, that's a lot of bullet holes. Wonder what happened there. All right, well, this is as good a spot as any. It's actually really beautiful. I was kind of anticipating a shitty camp spot tonight, but this is fantastic. 17 miles to go until a water source. I think I went 60 or 70 miles today. Went from mile 135 to 200, so yeah, almost 70. All right, time to get down to business. Look at this view. This is so sick. This is an awesome camp spot. It's so cool when I form this idea of what the ride will be like in my head, and then when I start doing it, it's exactly that way. Reality matches my expectations. If you have the chance to come out to Arizona and do this, highly, highly recommend. It's got to be one of the best wintertime bikepacking routes on bikepacking.com. Good morning. I slept pretty great last night. It was really quiet and enjoyed that. It wasn't very cold either. This morning, I had a Pro Bar for breakfast, and when I get on the road here, it's about 6:30 a.m. and I have 62 miles to go to finish this ride. Feeling good about it.
I have 3 more significant climbs to get through today, but after that, it's a long straight shot back to Tucson. What am I thinking about most? Well, I haven't showered for 6 days, and the Mexican food, ice cream, and beer is enticing too. There's some great sections of the route today. Madera Canyon, the Quantrell Mine Trail, and a long dirt road through the University of Arizona Desert Research Area.
All right, so my Wahoo says we have 3 climbs left. We have a 3.7 mile, a 0.7 mile, and a 4 mile climb. I'm really hoping that at least one of those is on this dirt road and not on single track, because I know there is a short single track portion coming up. So not quite out of the woods yet, but once we get past those 3, it will be 40 flat miles back to Tucson. This is where we turn on the Quantrell Mine Trail. This is the last little bit of single track on the Madrean Rugged Ramble. Hopefully it's not as hard as the AZT. I have 814 feet of climbing left on this ride, and then it's going to be flat for the remaining 40 miles. I am very stoked about that. This final climb is basically unrideable. I mean, it's all boulders. It's just constant pushing. I've been going at it for 45 minutes. We've gone about a mile and a half. It's got to be this way. The final one has to test you. That's it. 21,000 feet of climbing. Oh God. That was rough. All right, time to beeline back to Tucson. Looking forward to a beer and some fries, hamburger. I don't know. Let's go.
I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, but food is literally all I think about when I'm getting to the end of a long trip. I always say that if you want to eat whatever you want, just ride your bike 10 hours a day for a week. At that point, there's pretty much no way to eat more calories than you burned.
We are headed back into Tucson. The Madrean Rugged Ramble is complete. Oh, it feels good. I think what I'm most excited for is to take a shower. Haven't showered in 6 days. That's gonna feel good. And then I'm gonna go get some food, probably Asian food, and drink like 10 beers. Well, maybe 2, but in my mind 10.